Welcome back. So we're going to talk about the do or the for loop this time. And before I talk about the for loop, I was just going to review the while loop. So just in case you've forgotten a little bit about the while loop. Also, this right here, just in case you forgot, the only reason this is here is to pause the system so it doesn't just close on us before after it gets done executing. So this will just pause it. Um, so let's review the while loop. So we make a variable called x, set it to 0, and then we say while x is less than 10, execute everything inside of these two pointy brackets. And inside of them is going to be this console.writeLine that's going to print text and data out onto the monitor. And we also, if you don't remember what the plus plus means add 1 to it. So each time the while loop runs, we're going to increase the x by 1 increment or 1 number. So let's go ahead and run this real quick. And here's what we get. Let's look at what happened. While x is less than 10, so it ran all the way up until x got to 9. Of course, 10 would be equal to 10, so that's why I didn't run one more time. So hopefully you understand the while loop now. And also we might as well just review the do while loop really quick. Basically, you just move your while to the bottom, put a do at the start of it, and of course you're going to need to end your statement. So that's the do while loop. This is pretty much going to do the exact same thing in this situation. The only difference between the do while loop is that the do while loop will run one time even if the while is false. So let's just go ahead and change this really quick. False, if I can spell. Now this is going to run one time, even though while is false. See, x is equal to 0. So it ran one time, even though the while loop was never true. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of that, and let's make a for loop. Now, I'm going to leave the x here, and we're just going to go for. And I think a lot of people get confused with the for loop because it's a pretty dense bit of code, but hopefully I'll explain it efficiently and you won't have that problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and type it in and then we'll review it. So x equals 0, x less than 10, x plus plus, and then it's a loop, so it's going to do whatever's inside of your curly bracers as many times as long as the loop is true, or it'll do the code. So let's go console.writeLine really quick, and we'll just go x is equal to x. Okay, so let's go over this right here, because this is your for loop. Now, you just kind of have to memorize this. It's not, once you understand what it does, it's pretty easy to memorize. But this is 3 different commands. You have a command here, you have a command here, and you have a command here. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll realize what this command does. It's setting the variable x to equal to 0. So x is now equal to 0. And this one says x is less than 10. And this one says x plus plus. So maybe you figured it out. This right here is what will determine the length, or sorry, how many times the for loop will run. So x is starting at 0, and as long as x is less than 10, this for loop is going to run, and it's going to increase by 2 each time it goes through the loop. So let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. All right, so it ran 10 times, 1 through 9 plus 0. And you can see here, each time x went increased by 1. So x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3, all the way up to 9. Let's get rid of this. So what happened was we originally set x to 0, and x is less than 10, so it's going to run as long as x is less than 10, and it's going to increment x by 1 each time. And you could change this. You could increment this by 10, whatever. You can change this. Just to show you, we'll do x is less than 100. This is going to run 100 times. So that loop ran 100 times. All right, there's the for loop. I can't think of anything else important to know, so I'll go ahead and move on to the next video. Thank you very much.